Boom. What's up, baby? Welcome to Angry Africans. This is our first podcast we've got with our guest, Action Jackson England. What's up, baby? How you going?
Yeah, good. Thank you for having me.
No worries, man. We've done some stuff like this in the past, but it's the first time we've all gotten together, man. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I am excited, actually. And
yeah.
You know what? I got to say, there's a nice, lovely belts that you've got here brought with you tonight. Do you wear them sometimes, like when you're?
Not really, but
yeah.
I guess you could wear them. Like, you wear them obviously after the fight.
Definitely keep your pants up.
They keep your pants up.
But like, you know, like if you're gonna go out to like a nice restaurant, you know, and like hang out with people, do you like?
Not really.
Really?
You don't really want to be that guy, I guess.
Well, I mean, can you explain the difference between the WBO and the IBF?
It's so the IBF is International Boxing Federation, and then the WBO is the World Boxing Association. So they're just different sanctioning bodies.
I noticed they both have eagles on.
Yeah,
them.
I was just thinking
one
that.
eagle is like quite bedazzled, and then one is like kind of overlooking you, kind of like.
Yeah, I guess it's just design.
That eagle kind of looks like a dick. Yeah,
yeah.
It looks like a.
He looks like he's got better shit to do. That's what I was saying. I was like,
yeah.
But between the two, which one do you like better?
Oh, these are probably my two favorite, but I would say that these are the two most prestigious I've got out of the other belts I've got as well. So these are the two biggest, most prestigious. This one, the IBF put me at number 15 in the world, and then this one put me in the top 10, but currently in the top 5 in the world at the moment. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like the mirrors. I like how they have mirrors so you can look at, like, in case, you're out to dinner and you have your belts with you, which you should do every time, and you have something in your teeth and you just like, kinda, you know what I mean? Like you can just kind of like pick at it and you find it. I like how they thought of that as a feature for the belts. That's what it's there for, right?
Yeah. I guess so. I've never really asked.
I think you made him.
I'd
pull back on some. I've actually got some questions for you. I think you should pull back because I think you're making it weird a bit.
Am I? Well, I don't know. I think like if you're gonna explain why the mirrors are
let's
there.
let's just let go of the mirror thing, man. Like let's move on.
All right. Okay.
That's cool.
Okay. Fine.
I have some questions for you, Jackson. Do you mind? We had a couple of questions that we're going to raise together and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. We'll just keep you up a little bit from the mic.
Sorry.
I want to be able to see your face. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Yeah.
You
need a mirror.
Oh, no, I'm a bit short.
So. No, we just talk into it like that. But we do have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Tabo and I have written them down. Obviously, they're boxing related, but we want to get to know you as a person as well, which I'm pretty excited about. Okay. So, Tabo, did you have any? How about we ask Jackson this one here?
Which one?
That one there. Go ahead. Why don't you ask him? About that?
Okay. So, Jackson, what was the most recent thing that's made you cry?
Tell us. What is it? What's the thing?
I can't think of the last time I cried.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not very in touch with your emotional side.
Sad movie?
Is this like a toxic masculinity thing?
No.
No. Okay. No, that's cool.
I'm just trying to recall.
Yeah.
The last time I cried. I think maybe in my car.
Okay.
Guess you drive a Mazda.
Basically, yeah, because of the Mazda, it is. Yeah.
Oh God,
it's pretty sad.
So I'm getting emotional now.
You're right, man.
I'm sorry.
Sure, dog. Okay, cool. We've got some other ones here as well. Would you ask this one there as well? That one looks pretty good.
Okay. So
that one's a good question.
This is more for thought exercise.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in a Russian prison. You know, like those ones where you can't escape really.
Yeah.
But they give you an option, right? They go, you can escape if you do this. Okay.
Okay.
So the question is, if you had to escape from a Russian prison,
yes,
would you rather eat a whole cat or a whole dog?
Where has the cat and dog been?
Okay, good question.
In the prison.
They were in the prison with you. They found them off the street. They're strays.
Yeah. Prison cat.
Yeah, prison cat or prison dog.
Or prison dog, yeah. If you had to.
I don't think I've ever been asked this question before.
Yeah.
So
Let's have a think.
say a dog.
Either dog?
I think I'd eat the dog.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel bad on the cat, but I think I'd eat the dog.
Okay. Now, okay. So now let's replace the word eat with the word fuck. Is it still the same?
That's a bit raunchy.
Is it still the same answer?
I can't really comment at this time.
No, that we can move on for that. I think that one was a little bit hectic for him.
Just to point out,
Yeah.
Is there any boxing related?
Yeah.
No, we're
I've got. Yeah, we're
getting
getting to that. It's just more like personal kind of stuff. In boxing, if a bear and an elephant were to box, who would win?
Bear and an elephant.
Yeah. Well, the elephant would struggle to box.
Well, the elephant.
Different weight categories.
Again, it's a bit hard.
Okay,
that's kind of the Tyson Fury Usyk fight, isn't it? The bear and elephant.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's so true.
That's true.
Yeah,
It is true.
it's very similar.
How many penises have you seen in your life?
Now, real life, not on the computer. Just have a think.
just off the top of my head.
If you need to round the number, that's fine.
I'm kind of
approximate.
I'm just thinking about it now.
How do I answer this without sounding gay?
Yeah. I think about back when we used to strip together.
Yeah, maybe that's a couple there.
A couple.
Yeah.
It's not really something you want to keep in your brain of count. I don't want to tally them up.
Really? Really?
It's not a personal interest, but several.
How many?
Several.
How many you seen?
How many is? What's several mean?
Is that like more than 10?
More than 2, I'd say.
10 and 2 are very different numbers, though.
Do you think that when you're world champion, you'll get offered a lot more anal sex from women? I would say yes.
You think?
Yeah. Do you think Floyd Mayweather would get a lot of anal?
I don't
women
know.
And stuff.
It does look like an anal bead.
Do we have any more questions that aren't like anal related, or I don't know, because I think we're fucking this up.
Let me have a look. Are you were a vegan?
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
Was anal hard? Oh, sorry, it's another anal. Sorry, it's another anal one. I'm sorry.
No. We I think we're fucking this up.
I'm sorry.
I think we're fucking this up. I think we bit off a little bit more than we should chew.
It seems very much the start of a boxing question, but then it ends with something that doesn't have anything to do with boxing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of do bring up a lot of dumb shit. But look, I mean, we're trying, this is our first time, and I think we're really fucking this up, man.
Well, okay, so the show is called Angry Africans, and we do get angry at stuff.
Yeah.
And so you're a professional boxer. You're ranked pretty heavily. I feel like boxing has changed quite a bit in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
there was a time there where it wasn't as prominent, like the UFC was kind of taking over a little bit, but now it's sort of making a comeback. But with that comeback, there's a lot of changes. You're seeing the YouTube boxes, et cetera, et cetera. What are some things that you like about where boxing is now, and what are some things make you mad about where boxing is now?
Also, is the paperwork done?
Yeah. No, that's all good. We're finished with the questions now.
I was waiting for the right one.
And now we're back.
I couldn't hold that up for myself. I was just laughing.
Now we're back on topic.
Yeah. So we actually go to boxing now.
That was fucking so funny. Okay. Okay. So what makes me happy with the current climate with the boxing world at the moment is the eyes that come to the sport. So even though it is a circus, everything becomes a lot more, mainstream on, people put tweets out there, people start stuff on social media, or even just the way they promote a fight, having Tyson and Jake Paul, having KSI versus someone. I'm not too much in with the YouTube guys. Yeah. But even when Floyd Mayweather fought Logan Paul, it's what it does, it brings younger and newer eyes to the sport. That's what I think is a plus. Yeah. What I don't like is the annoying conversations I have with people from a younger age
that don't know,
who don't have a full understanding of what it really takes as a professional fighter or as someone, but they come up to you and they're like, "Hey, are you looking forward to the Jake Paul fight?" Not really. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Because to me, Jake, don't get me wrong, they probably train really hard. They probably, and I understand it's a circus. They put the show on. They know how to sell, and they know how to market themselves really well. Problem is, you can't, as a pure fighter to me, you can't fight duds and say you're the fucking best. That's just the truth. You can't go fighting a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter and not let him fucking wrestle you. Yeah. That's just me. And you fight no harm, no thing towards Jake and all them guys. Anyways, I don't know them personally, so fuck them. But
fuck them.
Fuck them. But at the same time, they made money. They've marketed themselves. They're doing really well. But what annoys me is that Tyron Woodley, way out of his time. Did he legitimately? We spoke about this.
Yeah, we did.
Did he legitimately knock him out?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or was it?
Maybe, or was it preempt on what was going to happen? Same thing with Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury was lucky to win that fight, but someone on Tommy Fury's level should have fucking smoked,
destroyed
Jake.
him. Yeah, 100%.
So there's a lot of different factors in that.
Tommy Fury's record isn't the best.
No, well, you can't. You can't be from the Fury name and unfortunately have a guy. He's had how many fights now, and he's won them all.
No,
you can't knock a guy out in the first round who's got 2 wins and 126 losses.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
You want to fight a real journeyman, there he is there.
Yeah.
Bring him to your bar mitzvah or your next party and he'll fight anybody there at the bar, at the bar. So it doesn't really matter.
It kind of seems like there's 2 different boxing scenes then.
There is, but they're kind of becoming one. So again, positive, new eyes to the sport. I like that, and I like that the fan base, because boxing went away for a while because of UFC and everything like that. But to me, boxing's a gentleman's sport. UFC is more of that rougher, grittier, in-your-face sort of sport where, mixed martial arts, you can do everything. Yeah. In a boxing sense, you've only got your hands to work with, and it goes back to all the old days, the 1800s, the 1900s, where you get the classy fighters, and I'm a big fan of that.
But what's interesting about those guys is those older fighters, they were probably closer to MMA guys because they trained boxing, they trained wrestling and catch wrestling and shit.
So a lot of those old methods of training, got people like Vasyl Lomachenko who still wrestles and still does those methods of training. I do that.
Crawford
as well. I do that stuff myself. So my coach has a very mixed base on kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, everything. His certificates are through the roof. So we work on a lot of old school aspects of training, but it's what you have to do to be different, other than I'm going to be Ryan Garcia and I'm going to say I'm going to have sex with someone's wife.
Yeah. A question about that. Is that post, or did he say he's going to, or did he say he did?
No, from what I remember, I might be wrong, he said that he was going to, or he said that he would try to. Something. So, and that's...
Is that... Do you feel like that's selling a fight, or do you...
That's marketing and trying to sell a fight, which I can understand, because, again, it's the new era. So everyone wants to talk the talk and make a rough and make a massive scene on social media because everyone's on social media, whether we like it or not. The boxing world, any athlete or any influencer, it's done on social media. Yeah. No one even news. You see the news now and it comes up, whether it's fake or not, it comes up. People hear about it. It's straight on your face. Yeah. Social media. Most people can't live without their phones. But it's just the dynamic of the world now.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for the boxing industry, especially because instead of you going through maybe a bunch of promoters and getting a TV deal, et cetera, you can go straight to the source and just tell people, hey, et cetera, make your fights, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing now. Even the positive thing now is in Saudi. So Saudi Arabia are now the boxing pinnacle.
Isn't that weird?
But
so crazy.
It's crazy to think that. But from people who, obviously the Prince or the whatever his name is, I forget his name now, but he's a massive boxing fan. for him to be able to put that money, and they've got crazy money.
Yeah.
For them to put that money into boxing, and they're taking away all the middlemen now. So you take away the Eddie Hearns, the Frank Warrens, the Bob Arams, the Lou DiBellas. You take away all those people because they've got the money to say, you can have this. The fighters will get this.
Yeah.
Like look at Ngannou and Joshua. Joshua got 50 million, sorry.
Wow.
And Ngannou got 20 mil. So fighters are going to fight, and they're making the best fight the best.
Yes.
There's no more cherry picking. There's no more political stuff with like, oh well, you'll fight him, but you don't have to worry about your mandatory anymore, and like all these sort of things. So they're making the best fight the best, regardless.
Yeah.
That's what the sport needs again, because with the Mayweather era, it had you couldn't have a loss on your record. You had to fight, and Mayweather's one of the best boxers of that era. Yes, my opinion, but he's one of the best businessmen as well. Because
he set the standard for picking fights.
He did. He set the standard. He put it out there. He was selling out crowds in MGM. He was HBO's #1 fighter, one of the guys who fought all current world champions and former world champions, and he's a boxing historian again.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to come out of that era now, because people are like in the heavyweight division having losses on their record and coming back, like even Joseph Parker. So Joseph Parker has done a full loop from being a world champion, losing to Joshua, making the circle back. Now he's currently the world champion again.
Yeah.
And he beat Zhang, and coming off being knocked down twice and outboxing Zhang, even though he's now the world champion. And Parker's a phenomenal fighter.
Great fighter,
He's
man.
a phenomenal fighter.
So, Mayweather made himself well known as, in his opinion, the greatest boxer who's ever lived by having that record, which was 50-0.
Still to this day,
Yeah.
I don't care what Mayweather says, the best fighter to ever live.
Rocky Marciano.
But it's not about the O. It's not about the O. Like, the best fighter to ever live is Sugar Ray Robinson.
Hands down.
Sugar Ray Robinson was the best fighter of all time. There's nobody who was like Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
Nobody ever. Like you look at Sugar Ray Robinson's resume, that's close to at least 200 fights.
It's 201 fights.
201 fights and a couple of losses, but the fights he had were spread out all in a period of time. And he went from fighting at super lightweight or whatever it was, moving all the way up to middle. And stuff, like that old era of fighters, like you won't ever find those people again. It's like a Michael Jackson or a Prince or a George Michael or David Bowie. There's certain people that they separate from good to great, and there'll never be those people again. Like even Lomachenko, 90 something wins in the amateurs.
Insane. Never been knocked down. Lost once.
Hold on.
In
Though
the amateurs.
that's what I think. Like in my opinion, I think Vasily Lomachenko might be the greatest, one of the, if not top 5 greatest fighters who's ever lived.
Even like I was saying, like Bob Arum had a conversation with my uncle, who's my manager now. He remembers being on the phone to him and saying to him when he just signed him to Top Rank, because he was with Golden Boy to start with, and then he went for a world title in his second fight, and then the third fight he went for another world title and won against Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah.
But he said, I've just signed Vasily Lomachenko, 2-time gold medalist for Ukraine, 300 and something odd wins, 1 loss, but avenged the loss. There will never be another one of him. He's already marked himself in the Boxing Hall of Fame before the pros.
100%.
And then now coming into the pros now, he's got 3 losses on his record now, but he's never ducked nobody. He's fought everyone.
Yeah, and what like the way I look at it is I go, if you've had 300 amateur fights, right? They're still fights, bro. Like you could get pinned. Look at how Mike Tyson fought in the Olympics. He was killing people, bro.
But see, that's the thing. Like, there's the very fine line of, from my experience, because my experience is completely different. Like I only had 22 amateur fights,
right?
Yep.
And won a state title, a Golden Glove title. That was it.
Yep.
But I knew myself. My transition to it, because back in the day, those guys had more of a pro style. Like to this day, my favorite 2 fighters of all time, but my favorite fighter of all time would be Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes.
Sugar Ray Leonard was my favorite of all time.
The man.
Yeah, the man. But my version of a perfect fighter would be a mixture of Leonard and Duran at the same time, because you could do the best of both worlds.
Which is what Robinson was.
Yeah, Robinson was a killer, but at the same time, he could do it all. Yeah. Leonard could do it all, but Leonard also he's a beautiful fighter. Duran was a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Was an absolute monster. He'd tear you to pieces, and his way of making the fight was to be on you and in your face, and he'd make you look stupid.
Yeah.
But looking at those era of fighters, it was a very different aspect and different era. It was very, very, very different to nowadays.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
You would actually have to fight the people you didn't want to fight.
Oh yeah, no. Well, you'd lose a fight. A couple of months, you'd rematch, win the title, do whatever, and then you'd fight who's in next in line. That's why the four kings, Duran, Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, that's the best era of boxing, my opinion.
Yeah.
Those guys fought each other back to back and fought every mandatory, every guy around them, and did not care whether they won or lost, because at the end of the day, fighters fight.
Yeah, 100%.
Fighters fight. Nowadays, it's all about how many views you get on a reel. If I say this,
so true, man.
Cap. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Oh,
it
cap.
is super annoying that you've got, because you kind of have a four kings kind of thing happening with Stevenson, Shakur, Tank, Haney, although now it's like weird.
Yeah, no, it's
he's kind of out, but like
Haney,
Garcia,
Haney put everybody to sleep.
And
that's not with his fist.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, and his personality, dude. The kid's a breadstick, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's just bland.
His dad, I think, is sorry.
But his dad again, like from seeing how his dad operates and all this sort of stuff. I'm from the hood, I'm tough, and all that sort of stuff. Bill can't throw a punch to save his life.
Yeah,
he was in the corner while Haney fought George the first time, and the crowd were telling Bill to sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Because he's standing up in the corner doing this.
Really?
Like, sit the fuck down. Like, you're not the fighter. Your son's the fighter.
Yeah.
But that's where I mean. Like, when you have a father-son duo, like you got
John
Lopez,
Fury.
you got John Fury, you got the Lopez's, you got Haney's, you got the Camboses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Jim and George work really well together.
Yeah.
Haney and Bill, they work well together, but there's a fine line of you let the fighter do the job, and as the father, obviously you back your son. But you got to take even Lopez's, like Lopez said himself from an old interview that, his dad doesn't know how to turn off the coach switch and the manager switch. It's when they go home, it's still that aspect. There's no, well, you're my son, so let's just be normal. I couldn't have that. Like I'm grateful that I've got the support that I do from my dad, my family, everything like that. And there's no differ between the two. At the end of the day, my job's to fight.
Yeah.
And nobody steps that boundary and stuff. Obviously you have the conversations and you talk boxing with your family and with your parents and everything like that, which I do. But then I also make it very clear that, hey, this is my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys are going to look after me and take care of me, but you guys don't need to get involved too much, because at the end of the day, you get too emotional, it gets too personal. It's a sport at the end of the day.
Well, the thing with Bill and Devin is like, it's just the fact that Devin is boring, but you never hear from Devin really.
Oh, no.
It's always what the dad is saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You never hear from Camboses' dad. You know what I mean? Like you don't.
No. Jim says what he wants to say at the time.
Yeah.
And Jim's awesome. Like being able to experience, have them as friends, and share 2 world title campaigns with George and Jim has been amazing. They fly me out to Sydney. I've been there for 2 of the fights, and then even helped for the prep for this one that happened on the weekend. So to be there and be amongst their team and stuff has been awesome. And George is a great guy. He's wholesome. He's down to earth, and he works hard. And out of all the Australian fighters at the moment, there's only a handful of Aussie fighters that I personally really enjoy watching and that have really made their marks and stuff. George has done the biggest things in Australian boxing.
Yeah.
Like he's become unified and undisputed. He's won all the belts and took him off Lopez, and then he's fought Haney twice and lost twice. And he proved his class there, and then fight Maxie Hugh in Oklahoma, went straight for another world title. So he's got 6 or 7 world titles underneath his name
in the space of like
a pretty short period.
Really short period.
What's it like when you first go in to go and be a sparring partner? What's that like when you first go meet him?
I love it. It's fun.
What did you feel? Were you like, damn, like this is this is real?
Yeah, like it's more that it is a surreal thing. Like I'm very cruisy and down to earth with it also. Like I'm grateful for any opportunity. But when they come through and stuff, I remember going to the gym for the first time. I was like, wow, I'm actually here. I'm actually here with someone who's conquered the lightweight division and actually been is at the pinnacle. He's in the top 5 in the lightweight division. So to go there and sparring for the first time, I was like, it's going to be interesting to see what's to offer.
Yeah.
And see the world class level, and he's definitely showed he's world class.
So did you have? Sorry.
No. So what's it like when you're in there and he throws that first jab and you're kind of moving around and you're going, I'm in here with someone
settling.
That's ranked.
It's a settling thing where, to me personally, that's the most comfortable I am. Like fighting and sparring and doing all the stuff, I love it that much that's at home to me.
Yeah.
But to go out there and see what George is going to throw at me, what's going to happen here and stuff. You get those really heated sparring sessions. You get people who have mutual respect, and nothing but mutual respect from George in that. There's times in the past I've sparred some people and there's an ego, there's carrying on all sort of stuff, and it's like, pissing contest. And it's like, you don't need to bring yourself down to that level. You actually lose composure when you're trying to prove something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's times where you lift and you both come together and you're like, all right, we're both getting the work in, we're both throwing hard shots, but we're not going to go to a point where it gets messy, rolling around, get guys who throw people to the ground, people hit in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Some guys even knee in the dick, bloody
wow.
carry on and stuff. But there's real messy stuff. Like people go full above and beyond, but nothing but mutual respect. And even like him throwing the first punches and doing stuff, it's like, wow, okay, I get to see his levels, because they say all the time, there's levels to boxing.
Yeah.
And you see it. Like it's not something you can just see, it's something you feel as well. Like when you're in there in the mix, you're like, all right, let's see the levels and feel it. And then you do, and you're like, wow, okay, this is where we need to get to now, and then you build. That's how it works, basically.
Yeah, that's got to give you confidence as well. Like if you step in with someone who's off a low level, and you're like, oh, wow.
Well, even like the last fight, I had the aspect of, I had the opportunity to fight Jamel Herring, former world champion in my division. He was 2 years ago, he was the number 1 out of all the guys. So Jamel Herring was, he's a former Olympian, former Marine. He turned pro at 26 or 27. So later.
Oh, wow.
And he was kind of 2 years ago, he was the number 1 in the division. So he was kind of like a little bit missed from everybody else.
This dude, yes. Yeah, I do know him.
Yeah, so Shakur beat him for the world title.
Yes.
Shakur moved up from feather to go to super feather, and they fought for his world title. Shakur beat him, and he beat him very convincingly as well.
Yeah.
But they've done rounds and rounds together, so they both would train in Crawford's camp and spar Crawford and spar each other.
Yes.
So when that fight made by them, I remember watching that fight. I remember prior watching, because one of Jamel's biggest wins was against Carl Frampton.
Yeah.
And he ended up stopping Carl Frampton, and I remember after, because I fought in Sydney before that, I feel, and I fought a guy named Liam Wilson, and personally I believe I won that fight, which a lot of people agree with me as well. But my stocks went up, where even though I basically should have won that fight, but it went the way it did, they were like, okay, well, Jackson's a front runner. He can get in there with anybody and be at that top level. So they were like, all right, how about Jamel's coming off, he was coming off a good win in America. He fought Jermaine Ortiz prior to that and lost because he moved up to lightweight. And they were like, all right, does Jackson want to fight Jamel? I said, 100%. Because any fights, I'll take any opportunity, and I believe in myself, and I back my work ethic and my ability every day. Yeah. So to jump in there with Jamel, and it was
beat him.
And getting the win.
That's so
phenomenal, sick. But for him to come all the way to Australia as well, like it was one of those, who comes out on top to make it the rest of the way. Yeah. And I remember even having the fight be talked about, and they were like, you fight Jamel and everything like that. No, the Aussie community was behind me. Yes. But no one thought I was going to win. Right. Because Jamel's a former world champion. He was number 1 in the division 2 years ago. He still could fight. He proved that. Olympian and Marine. They're like, we're going to back the Aussie, as the Aussies do. Yeah. Yeah. No one thought I was going to win. Sportsbet had me at like $4 something at one point.
Did you bet on yourself?
Pardon?
Did you bet on yourself?
No, I wish I did. Someone I know actually bet a fair bit of money on me. They walked away with like $3,500.
Wow.
I was like, sweet, man. Like, no worries. But yeah, I know. I should have done the same.
So I was laughing at this because the last time you lost a fight, I posted a picture of the Hamburglar, and I looked at this Facebook status from December 15th, 2023. It stated after you got that decision loss, it said, the Hamburglar is running amok in Australian boxing. Jackson won that fight. If you ever have the pleasure of meeting the official judges, I will kick their dicks in. Fucking with my Zen on a Friday, not cool.
Actually, I really thought you were on that. No, but I remember when we posted that up, I just laughed. But that's what I mean. But it happens all the time, you know. People get like, hey, like if I could sit like, that's why the stigma with boxing as well, like. People now it's coming out of that whole O era and cherry. People aren't getting the opportunity to cherry pick anymore and do that sort of stuff. So like, regardless, if I could sit here and I had 0 losses on my record, wouldn't matter regardless.
Yeah,
like, because I want to fight the best. Because you got to fight the best to be the best.
Sure,
that's part of the game. And if you're not willing to back yourself, then why do it?
And it is interesting because there's also, because of George and Jeff Horn and all these guys, like Australia has sort of come back on the world stage as
massively.
Yeah, which was like for a time there, a lot of people didn't think Australasian fighters, I should say.
Oh yeah, no, but even the stigma, even the American circuit and stuff like that.
Yes.
They're because the superpowers at the moment, just being completely honest, is America still and Japan, but Saudi Arabia is the big power that is getting all these guys fighting each other. But the best fighters basically in the world at the moment that are all mainstream is America and Japan.
Yeah.
Those are the pinnacle of talent, basically.
Japan?
Japan's
really?
full on. You look at Inoue, the monster. Like Inoue is a different breed, man. Like out of all the Japanese fighters I've ever seen, Inoue stands out immensely. Like he's phenomenal. I got the chance to meet Inoue when I went over there as well, and didn't get to watch him train or anything, but he's a freak.
He just felt his presence.
Oh yeah, he's a freak, and the amount of respect he's got as well over there by the Japanese public is phenomenal. But then even when I went over there training, sparring, doing stuff as well,
he's a small guy, huh?
He fights at super bantam, but he's one of those guys who gets fairly big in between fights. Like he's not like big like fat, like big as in like he's a wide set guy, like a thick set guy.
Yeah,
but he fights at 55 kilos.
That's the guy that I've been seeing on all those highlight reels and stuff.
He's a monster.
Yeah, so the name definitely fits. You know?
His right hand is like, Jesus Christ, dead.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, he's a hell of a puncher at that division.
The other Japanese kid that came out of kickboxing. Tenshin.
Tenshin.
I love him, man.
Yeah.
He's very good kickboxer.
He's an awesome kickboxer, but he's done really good in the boxing scene as well.
Yeah.
You know, like he shows that he can... You know, even from back in the days when K1 was a big thing, like
he started doing boxing.
Yeah,
dude. This kid, he starts in karate, and then is like, karate's boring. I'll beat everyone. Let me go do kickboxing. All right, I beat everyone in kickboxing. Then we go do
boxing.
MMA.
Oh, MMA.
Yeah, and then he smashes everyone in MMA. Let me go do boxing.
Yeah,
and I'm just gonna smash people in boxing.
But then Mayweather made him look like the biggest twat to the Western community.
That was I don't know.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. You reckon that was the throw?
I think what it was.
Surely he'd have enough money already.
Mayweather.
Oh yeah.
No. Tension.
Well, see, no. Well, that's what's interesting as well is like because I've gone over there to actually see how the Japs operate and stuff. They are so straightforward when it comes to paying for fights and doing stuff. Like they just give you the envelope at the weigh-in. Where most places they get to wait till after the fight to get paid, or like depending on how the promotion works.
It's an escrow. You're like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I mean. Like
Mayweather Promotions will pay you.
Yeah, but it will be at this specific time.
Yeah, exactly.
Place. Like, and it's from a different offshore account
when hell freezes over. Sort of thing.
Basically, yeah. But like, it's interesting how the Japs work. They're very honourable, very much like respectful of the thing, and they treat their fighters like superstars.
So you think he threw that fight with Mayweather? Come on, boys.
I think.
Where's your nuts? Come on, say it.
I think the way that fight operated, the way it happened, it could have been. But you also look at the size difference as well. Mayweather.
He was, but we're talking about this guy that was an absolute monster and then started doing boxing and kicking everyone's ass, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the same guy?
The same guy, yeah.
He did. If I was going to throw a fight, I would make it look like him. Do you know why? Because if you got punched in the face, I too would want to know that people might think that I'm throwing it.
Yeah.
So instead of going down like, if he did throw it, Tyron Woodley, the greatest thrower of all time, when he's literally like, okay, knock me out. Boom. He actually knocks himself out. But no, this other guy's going, guy on the ropes, like holding on, and he can't get up. His legs are
Yeah,
all
He did
like Bambi.
It was like The Rock taking the Stone Cold Stunner. Like,
Yeah.
yes. That's exactly what he did.
But that's the thing. You don't know. I was talking to someone else about throwing fights, the people getting behind it to tell you to throw the fight, and it's illegal. But the boxing world it happens. It happens, man. Someone offers you this, they say this, they we'll promise you this fight after if you throw this fight. Like, it's been going on since the
And then they don't give you the other fight.
No, they won't give you the other
Eddie
fight.
Hearn's in your corner going like, look, this is your last opportunity for you to make some real money, mate. It's time for you to take a dive,
what was great about the weekend with Lomachenko and George and all that sort of stuff is that every fight that was on that card, except for maybe the first fight, because it was a Russian or Serbian guy named Imam, and he's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
He's like another Benabiyev, like he's crazy. But most of the fights there were a make or break fight for both fighters. So it was it was Australian fight, everything going on, but it was also on that pinnacle of, whoever wins goes further. Whoever doesn't either comes back to domestic scene or not on the same level as what that fight was.
Yeah.
So it was a make or break for a lot of people. The girls, the Maloney fight, George and Loma. So Lomachenko is obviously now the IBF world champion. I don't know if it was the unification for George's world title.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
No, because some articles, I haven't spoken to George about that at all, but I know George won the IBO, but the IBO is the sanctioning body that isn't as guaranteed or isn't on the same. They say it's not on the same level as the other four. So the fifth. Okay. So you got the IBF, the WBO, the WBA, and the WBC. Those are the main four.
Yeah.
And they all work with each other, the rankings, the pays, the pay, the commissions, everything like that. The IBO is more not as looked upon as a legitimate world title, even though it is. I don't care what anyone says. The IBO is still considered a world title and it's legitimate.
Yeah.
It's only because they don't either have the funding behind them or they do their rankings off box rec. It's really strange. Oh, but you get to look at how many world champions. There's been Australian world champions. There's been African world champions. There's been Argentinian world champions. There's been Somali world champions. There's been European. There's heaps of guys who've won the IBO. And then you look at the heavyweight division, like Usyk, Joshua. They have an IBO world title belt, but apparently it's not as recognised as the IBF, the WBA, all that sort of stuff. And I personally don't know why, but people who still win world titles in the IBO are still considered a world champion.
World champion.
Yeah, when you go to the lower tiers, like there's other sanctioning bodies which people have no idea about, which are funny as.
Yeah.
Like you've got a world title called the IBC or the IBA.
Right.
Or like NBU and like stuff like that that just random sanctioning bodies. WBF. It sounds like
WBF.
they sound like wrestling titles.
Yeah, I was just about to say
that.
No,
I've heard that.
So WBF is actually a sanctioning body that Australian fighters have won as well. So there's been 2 or 3 world champions of the WBF title, and it's a blue belt. It's a blue belt.
Blue.
Look it up. It's blue.
When do you get a green one?
That's a WBC. I've got 2 WBC.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so I've got 2 WBC Asia titles, which are which are sanctioned by the WBC, obviously.
When we Google
it doesn't even come up. What is that? That looks like it was made in
God.
Let me see.
1993, like
Photoshop,
like on Paint, Microsoft Paint.
I'm seeing something else. I'm seeing something else now.
Oh gosh,
that's all right.
I have some fights I want to ask you about.
Okay, go.
Because obviously there is some big fights coming up. The first one I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Right. Is we're gonna look at this first. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's a blue belt. And this is not saying like, you can't think, because winning a belt or winning something is still an achievement.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. The logo is whack. The belt I kind of like.
It's not bad.
I kind of
like. It's
not
bad. And then like you look at
the first belt I've seen without an eagle on it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, but it's like a trophy in a sense. So the regional, the international, these belts, it's still a sanctioning body, but it's not as recognised as the main big ones.
Yeah.
When do you reckon they're going to get the spinner one in?
Oh, like the wrestling
John Cena?
John Cena wrestling one. Yeah. But like, even like that, so there's people I know who have won that belt and been world champions in that. But it's not as recognised. Like there's a guy I saw who won an IBC, and that belt actually looks pretty cool. Not as cool as these, but it looks pretty cool. But he won it in like Canada.
Right.
It was a IBC or whatever it is world title, and it looked pretty cool. It's a black belt.
Fuck, that is a beautiful belt.
It actually isn't bad. Like
That's a gorgeous fucking belt.
What's that one called?
IBC.
Yeah, that's actually really nice.
It's actually not really bad. And
Jackson's like, I want one of those.
yeah.
Can you go get one of those?
Well, that's funny. You can actually just go to some distributor and they can make whatever belt you want. Like
Really?
I've
But with actual gold, though.
No way.
Yeah.
There's a guy in the UK.
That's real gold, isn't it?
No, I wish. If they were, I would have sold them.
I was going to say that's probably the dumbest thing I've ever asked.
So all the belts I've won, like so when you come to the party down at Cobblers and everything like that, all the belts that were hanging up that I've won in my career, I let my parents have because they're all part of the journey that we've experienced together.
Yeah.
So I let out of respect for them and the sacrifices they've made for my dream and my life, and for me pursuing it as I have, I let them hang them all up at the business and have it there and let them have them. But I've already made a promise to myself: winning a world title, I'll take that with me.
Yeah.
But they keep the other ones out of respect. Like it's just one of those things. And if someone said, "Hey, do you want to fight for an IBC?" Even though it's not as recognised and as rated as the ones you really want, I'm not going to say no.
You'd be taking that one to the restaurant, bro, because that's a good looking belt, man.
Oh yeah, no, but all of them
belt.
are really cool to be walking around with. It's just you don't want to be walking around Mandurah with a belt around your waist. And, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that guy. You'll get some meth head trying to fight you for it.
You know what's I've always thought was the most. Whatever happened to Ring Magazine?
Okay, so the Ring Magazine belt, my stepdad laughs. There's an ongoing joke that's the Rocky belt.
Yes, that's the belt.
So out of all the belts,
Is
it's no. So basically, you're
the closest thing that looks like the Rocky belt.
It is. So it's red, white, and blue. It's bloody. You got the little thing there. So out of all the belts, I believe that is the most prestigious belt out of all the.
I think so too.
Because even though it does look goofy, like it's from the Rocky movies, the Ring Magazine belt means that you've not only become world champion or unified or undisputed, you're also considered the number one in the entire division. So, great example, Jai Opataya from Australia. He's a Samoan fighter as well.
Oh, that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
But it's classic.
But it's classic though, yeah. So like,
is it, bro?
Those are the belts. Sorry.
No, that's like
Sugar Ray War.
That's a I'm a Japanese pro wrestler type vibe. No, what's it called?
That's Muhammad Ali's
which
belt,
one are you
bro.
looking at?
Hang on.
I'm looking at this one here, man. That belt sucks. It's what. It literally says Cassius Clay. Yeah, I know. It's cool. You got to admit, that looks way better.
No, these look better, yes, but
that looks like
in
shit.
itself is more.
It's French.
It's French. It's more prestigious than these because going again about
because
that,
it's French.
No. If you're undisputed or unified or anything like that, this makes you the number one in the division. So Jai Opataya, he was the IBF world champion, but he also got that belt at the same time. So, Breedis, who he's having a rematch with now on Friday, Breedis was the IBF cruiserweight world champion, but he was also the Ring Magazine champion, which made him the number one in the whole division.
So this makes you basically the best you can possibly be.
That makes you the best in the whole
so
division.
If you're the best there is, why do they give you the shittest belt?
Why is that the shittest belt?
Dude, that's like, what's it? Those Mexican wrestlers? Who are those Mexican?
I'll happily wear a I'll happily wear a Rey Mysterio face mask.
They get one of those?
Get one of those. I don't care.
That's a fucking beautiful belt.
But see, like then okay, even worse. You want to see what looks ugly?
Yeah.
Look up the British world title. Look up the same thing in the Australian title.
It's
what I
like
won.
A bulldog on it.
No, British world title.
Yeah.
That's not a good looking belt.
Sorry. I like the Muhammad Ali green one with all the fighters' faces.
That's WBC. So they've designed that off the thing.
British world title.
Oh. Wait, which one is the real one?
That looks like it's an award. That's the WWE belt. For sure.
So the British title is basically like the Australian title. So like our version of that as well. It's not even any of those. It's like a thin belt. So you go to British boxing title. It's not a world title. It's nothing like that. It's this thin, round. Like it does look old as. Like it looks really old, and it's not nothing I would bloody wear. There, see?
This one here?
That.
Not that.
That's that.
What?
No, not that.
With the poncy little...
Yeah.
With that bloke in there. Who is that guy?
I don't know.
It's the little dude, some dude like, see?
Wait, save that photo because I have to bring that up, man.
See, but that's exactly right. So that's the British title.
Hilarious.
But then you look at the Australian title. The Australian title's changed over the years as well. But the Australian title is just a green belt with an orangey yellow thing in the middle. You couldn't even read what was on it.
Oh,
But now it's changed to something else. So like it's but that's basically what it is. It is.
That is so weird, man.
Yeah. And then you look at other titles like
scone.
you look at whatever else.
Can I ask you? You go find you one.
Yeah.
I need to go back and we need to watch this because I need to find out what belts these are. Okay. I want to bring them up.
Okay, so which
that's kind of badass.
That looks sick. The white one?
Yeah, the unicorn one.
Union Jack on it. That's sick.
So that was the belt that Tyson Fury fought Dillian White for. That was
oh, wow.
The WBC actually make franchised belts. So WBC do all kinds. So like when Canelo fought Munguia or whatever recently, they had a specific belt made for them. So it's still the world title, but it's a specific belt for their fight. So they custom make them and stuff. So that's even when Mayweather fought McGregor, they made $1 million belt that had like all these diamonds and stuff in it because it was the significance of the fight. It was $1 million fight. So they made a specific belt for them.
I'm not a fan of that.
No,
I don't
I'm
like
not
it.
either.
Yeah. Hold on, what do you guys think of this shit?
All right, show me. Is it a belt with dildos on it?
Where is it? No.
That's just a normal
What's
belt.
it called? That UFC one?
BMF or whatever, baddest man on the.
What do you think of this shit?
Is it the black and grey?
I kind of like it, man.
Yeah, but it's okay. Just let's forget about the design because now we're turning into fashion is. But what?
Fashion.
But what is the meaning of it, bro?
I have no idea what the F stands for. I know
it's bad. It's literally the bad motherfucker belt.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you just give it to two fighters who are gonna fight.
I thought it was cool that Dwayne Johnson was the one holding it and stuff. Man,
But why wouldn't they get Mike Tyson to do it?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if anyone's a bad man, like, give it to them. Like, whatever. Like, I just thought it was cool because The Rock's... I like The Rock. He's cool.
What is this that they just want people to do 5 rounds, so they throw a belt in there. But why do they call it bad motherfuckers? They're just because...
Well, it's the same reason.
If you're from the streets, they'll give it to you. If you're Nate Diaz going, shit, I don't care about this shit, man.
Well, I think the idea
hit him with
is
some
like,
good shit.
It's the two guys, it's not the two guys that are going to do jiu-jitsu. It's not the two guys that are going to like
they're just going to bang.
jab.
They're just going to bang. They're going to
gonna
fight.
bang.
And then they're going to make it a fight. Because at the end of the day, it's all about perspective on who the fans are. So the fans like this stuff because it gives people a reason to see a fight.
Yeah.
You get the guys who go to boxing like yourselves or people who are boxing fans and they love the science behind it. They like the technical stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. Shakur Stevens is a beautiful boxer.
Yes.
But he's just on the same level as Haney where he will put you to sleep.
Yes.
Because it's boring. It's boring, right? It's not action-packed. Definitely Shakur's way better than Haney. But even on Haney's level, you watch him and you're not that impressed. Yeah, he's a good boxer, but he's not interesting. There's nothing interesting. So they make fights like that where it's like two guys, win-loss, whatever, but it's a bit of an ace card because it's like we're going to get excitement here.
You're going to get a good fight.
You're going to get excitement here. So like that's the same thing they make even local here. Like you've been to the local fights where I used to fight main event at Metro City. There'd be guys fighting for a Nitro title.
Yeah.
It looks like a wrestling belt.
Man, Nitro does sound like a wrestling organization as well.
It was.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but the guy who used to manage me and stuff, he actually designs all the local belts here from wrestling backgrounds because he's a massive WWE fan. So the state title, the Australasian title, which was my first ever belt I won, and the like Nitro title, all these titles are all basically designed off. They look like wrestling belts. Like my Australasian title, the first one I ever won, has got the same picture on the design.
Oh, that's cool.
I won the belt on the night, and it wasn't until the next day I was like, those gloves look familiar.
And then you Google it.
Google it. It's the same Google image I used for my tattoo.
Did you use that did you use Pinterest or you like boxing gloves?
No, I did. I looked on Google. I was like, I want a pair of boxing gloves on me. That was the first photo I picked up. The same photos on the belt.
That's so sick.
So that's funny. How funny is that? But it's like the designs and everything like that. You can go to someone here or somewhere in Turkey or
Pakistan. Are you going to get tatted up is the question. Are you going to get quite tattooed? Because you've got a lot more since I've known you. No, nothing there. Nothing there. Nah.
More tattoos?
Yes.
I don't mind. I love them, but I wouldn't go crazy.
You wouldn't go crazy?
I wouldn't go crazy.
Okay.
Like, there's tattoos where I've gotten that mean something, which personally do. There's some that I've gotten where I'm just like, yuck.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yuck, yeah. Like, there's just some that like I'm look at and I'm just like, nah. Like
really?
I've got a cross on the front of me, and that was an ongoing joke that I would make with people as like as like a jokey sort of thing. It's like, oh, you know, when someone gets in front of me, you know, they got to be praying to me. So you know, they're repenting their sins, you know, like but that's a funny.
And they're sucking dick.
That's funny.
It's right. Yeah.
It's right there. So it's right there.
Yeah,
it's my version of a male tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But I thought.
Have
it was
you
funny.
seen the state of my ass? Have you seen what the fuck I've done to my ass, bro?
I don't have a tattoo there,
bro.
I don't know if I want to. But
you haven't seen this, have you?
I'm intrigued a little.
Can I show you my ass? It's not my asshole, but like, like he reckons he's got a tramp stamp, bro.
Go on. You've got a proper one.
Go on.
Go on then.
No, it's not just one.
No, it's one. It's a few. When did you get these?
Yeah,
Why do you have tattoos on your fucking ass?
But don't get me wrong. I was debating getting.
Oh, show that to the camera.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
The frame.
Yeah. Go. What is that? Yeah,
Oh
but
my
I can't
God.
see what it is now.
Yeah,
What?
I can't.
I see the motherfucker, but what the fuck is the other shit?
Huh?
What's the other stuff?
Well, that's a penis.
A rock lobster.
Well, yeah, that's a lobster.
That's a rock lobster.
Okay, I see the lobster.
And a ghost
That
with a
says
beanie.
Thug life.
What does it say?
Thug life.
Wow,
And a
man.
ghost penis.
You are. That's something else.
I'll tell you why.
That's cool.
Okay, so
Why?
I get on the mic. So
Explain yourself.
okay. So my mate in New Zealand, every time we tee up, because obviously we only see each other once or twice every year, we will get a tattoo.
What's his name again?
Jared.
That's it.
Yeah.
Jared.
And we have now decided that he puts his all over his feet. I put them on my ass. So every time we see each other, we get another tattoo. But
That's
the tattoos,
pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the tattoos are so bad that we pick every single time. Like he's got surprise and I've got motherfucker. Because the last time I surprised him, I told you,
you jumped out. Yeah,
I hid in a boot naked.
and
And he went to go get groceries and I jumped out like Leslie Chow. I was like, surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So then we got that tattooed on our arm. Well, you know, so that's how the whole thing came about.
But they're sketchy.
Yeah. Oh, they're all like
the most white boy shit I've ever heard in my
Really?
entire life.
Well, see,
No black dudes.
but see, like there's a few like there's that where I make a joke about. That's funny. That's funny to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help that it's right next door to next to my stepdad's dad's name.
Yeah.
And I've got all my grandfathers that have passed away.
Oh.
So like it's directly along the line of him, and he was a choir master at the church. So
there we go.
he's got like praying hands next to his name.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like,
Wow.
oh,
Well, at least,
maybe-
you know, they're looking down on you.
Yeah.
You know, he's having a good time.
We're having a good time. But so that's your version. That's my version.
Well, I think my tattoos honestly are starting to look so ridiculous, man. Like I don't think mine
but
through.
but when we first met, like they suit you. They suit you. There's some tattoos you see on people and they're just like,
Yeah.
that doesn't suit.
I don't.
They're on brand.
Yeah.
They're on brand.
They're on brand.
Just being an
They're on
absolute shit. Shit and random.
Oh, bro. Like, you got the dragon. You
Got the dragon.
It's
There's
just
that,
on
there's,
brand.
The fuck
there's that
up.
thing on the side. I've always wondered what that was.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I can't even remember. It's probably like a lifeline or some shit.
Oh,
to do
that's
with
some.
it.
Oh shit! What is that?
It's like an arrow. It's got like a peace
it's
symbol
an arrow,
and shit.
right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
cool.
I
That's
just,
like a white girl on the ankle tattoo.
hey, how
Oh,
funny.
in between the
Yeah.
So I get this image of basically it's a take the piss of Shrek, right?
Okay.
And it's Princess Fiona. And obviously you know that these girls, they put on the internet and things like that, like the meme girls, like they always eat flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Their rooms are always messy.
Right.
And they always drive like a
yeah,
Nissan
yeah,
Ultimate. You know those kind of.
Yeah.
So they put up this thing here,
Oh,
which is that.
fuck. I saw that. I
Picture-
saw that meme come up.
So the funny thing is, it's like two of the tattoos that are on this lady are actually on my
God.
ex-girlfriend.
Ah, that's so funny.
I know, man. And I like at the same time, like I wanted to say something about it, but I was like, just don't be a dick, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I had an ex who had a tattoo on her, like giant tattoo on her thigh that says "Death Before Decaf." So "Death Before Decaf,"
Wow.
and then found out
I've got a shirt that
she
says
died of caffeine overdose.
she was highly allergic to caffeine.
Oh.
So now she
What?
can only have decaf.
So
So she die. Oh no, well, death before death. So she's gonna die before she actually has coffee.
She's like, I will never have decaf coffee.
Oh, sorry.
And then it turns
That's
out,
not,
I know.
Yeah,
that's not badass. That's like, I'm going to ride my bicycle without training wheels, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then it turns out she was like highly allergic to coffee, so she can't drink coffee.
That's so ironic, man.
But she's got this giant tattoo. Like,
I was still trying to make sense of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But wow,
that
what
actually
the hell?
is something that you said that was pretty interesting that you just said before. That is some white guy shit. Only white guys do dumb shit like that.
no black dudes will jump
No,
out
man.
of a trunk naked, and then one guy's like, I have to tattoo that on me.
Yeah,
I gotta get that on there right away. That doesn't happen, bro. That's a your guys thing.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, we're more self-destructive, I feel. Like, well, like, you know, you never see like black guys like snowboarding, like throwing themselves off fucking cliffs doing triple backflips and shit like
It's
that.
always,
No.
yeah.
It's always white people doing
Yeah.
that. Or the Japanese. Very self-destructive, the Japanese.
But Japanese, I feel like Japanese dudes. Have you ever been around drunk Japanese dudes?
yes,
No.
they're the best.
They're fucking psychos, bro. They go wild.
Yeah, they
Way
drink.
overboard.
So when you see a drunk Japanese person in Japan, they'll leave water bottles and stuff around you.
Right.
So if you passing out on the street, they're like, ooh, and they'll leave like a water bottle around you because they just know you must have had a business meeting or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just how they do business. They just get
I never got
absolutely
to see, it's a
smashed.
shame. I never got to see any of that when I went to Japan.
Ah,
It sucks.
dude,
Never got
messed
to see
up,
any of
Do you
that.
know what I noticed though? My hangovers were nowhere near as bad in Japan because there weren't all that like weird preservatives in the beers and stuff like that.
yeah.
My hangovers were fine. I felt actually okay.
It's the sugar that fucks you up with the hangovers, I heard.
Yeah. See, I don't drink, but when I do, I'm a bit of a posh prick. I like red wine. So like, and everyone's complaining.
I've seen you drink like
few times,
maybe, and you'll be like, I'm gonna live a little.
Yeah, no.
You'll have 1.5.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's like, I have that,
Fuck,
like,
should I drive?
Yeah, one glass, and it's like, hey, I'm living it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch me get wild.
Oh,
and then I
man.
drive
That was
back.
such a red wine hand gesture too, like living it up.
Living it up.
No, this is what we were talking about the other day when we're going, when you get invited around to go to people's smorgasbord houses when they get married and shit, glass of red. I'm not ready to drink red wine yet, bro.
You know what?
I love it. Like that's the only thing I'll have, like 1 or 2 glasses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sent.
But
I'm
you
not.
you would invite me over to play board games though, Jackson.
I can't even play a ball game myself.
I know. but-
My attention span's fucking shit house. But actually, to be honest, you know, it's really funny. Talking about ball games, I remember for ages I really wanted to play. What's that game where you got to
Monopoly?
find out who the killer is?
Cluedo.
Cluedo.
Yeah.
Never in my whole life have I ever played Cluedo, but I really wanted to play it. And I was pretending like I fucking knew how to play this game. I'm semi-illiterate. I can't read, write, spell, count.
Right.
Right? We got Cluedo for the first time. I was like, fuck yeah, we'll play Cluedo.
No way.
I had to be koshered and helped the entire time. I was the
Really?
killer.
Oh.
Everyone knew I was the killer, but they felt that bad for me that we had to play.
That is terrible.
They all knew because I kept asking questions and figuring out what to do. They're like, you wanted to play Cluedo so bad, you don't even know how to play it. And I'm like, no, let's just keep going. Just pretend like I'm not the killer.
That's insane.
What was that
I
about?
completely
Where you
forgot about
just,
that game.
Like felt like you had to play Cluedo.
I thought it was interesting as fuck. I was like, oh, imagine playing a game and like, oh, someone's the killer. We got to figure it out.
Yeah.
I was the killer and I'm dumb as fuck. And it was so stupid. So yeah, so board games, I probably
Well, you play chess,
Dude, I've been obsessed with chess. Hey.
but that's not really a board game, is it?
No,
Oh,
but
it is
no, chess
the board
based.
game.
Chess is
it's
like
the
some real
thing.
shit.
Yeah, but I can't even play chess. I can't play checkers. I can fight.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
play Monopoly.
See,
I'm good at Monopoly.
Can't play Monopoly. Monopoly.
But Monopoly makes you want to kill people.
Oh, you hate people.
Yeah.
Well, but I even tried to play that and I almost fell asleep because I was bored because I can't count the money and I don't
Right.
understand.
We play the Xbox one. It's actually pretty good. But
Xbox One.
it's like
Xbox
honest.
Monopoly.
Yeah, you can play that.
Play it on
Jesus.
Xbox is fun.
Yeah.
You could just shoot yourself in the face. That's just a better way to spend your time.
Let's play Xbox Monopoly.
I just can't imagine that you're just on your fucking, all right,
Your turn.
$100.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's your turn. Pass the remote.
Yeah.
It's literally what you do, and it's okay. What the
It's
fuck?
like, oh, I've got to
like
take
that.
this. I've got to buy this house and take this move.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, dude, good one.
The good one, man. Oh, you've just fucking bought that shit.
You fucking
I wanted
suck.
that house.
You're horrible people. All right, chess boy. Goddamn. All right.
Dude, at least chess your fucking. I don't need a computer system.
At least I don't. Can you imagine the?
See,
You don't need that to play Monopoly either.
No, but chess and like stuff like that. Yeah, red wine and scotch makes sense in those settings.
I like Scotch.
Yeah, see, I used to like scotch before, and then
Yeah.
now I like red wine because I must be some bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I'll sit there and I'll happily drink a red wine and
Yeah.
just chill. But I like to do it in a party setting. So it'll be like hectic music and party.
Yeah.
And I'm the fucking idiot in the corner just.
Yeah,
I respect that though. I respect that. I
Yeah.
respect
Got a
the hell
piece
out
of like finely aged cheese, like
yeah.
have that with a bit of.
I
sauce.
don't mind a cheese board. They're pretty good.
Oh,
I
really?
don't mind a cheese board either.
Yeah, that's because you're a dad, bro. Like that's what's happened. He like had a kid, and then he's like, I like red wine and cheese. What's going on?
That's probably a fair point. It wasn't
I would
until I
say
had
so.
my first son. I do that. Yeah.
What's your cheese of choice?
Ooh, I don't know. What's that one that's like it looks hard but then you cut it and it's soft?
Oh,
Brie?
Crunchy cheese.
it might be
Crunchy-
brie.
What did you say?
Crunchy cheese.
Crunchy cheese. No, it's like I don't know if it's brie cheese. I don't know. It's that one.
Yeah,
I can't believe you get a like professional boxer on the show and you ask him, "What's your favorite
What about
cheese?"
What's your favourite cheese?
Why not, man?
Yeah. You're asking me if I like bloody, other
Penises.
stuff.
Yeah, we've
Penises.
asked worse.
Yeah, we've asked way worse.
I've asked, yeah.
But, okay, but like to be fair, like what about the people that you're surrounded with in chess? What do you think is like more nerdy, playing chess or like Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, so the interesting thing about the chess guys is they think it's like a bunch of dudes that all they do is play chess,
Okay.
but their egos are like out of control.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like they're always
Oh.
like fucking.
No.
I'd end up punching him in the face.
Yeah, and you do feel like
hate
you want,
that.
like they'll be beating you, right? And then you're like, I could just flip this board over, just beat the fuck out of you. Like, we could just do that.
But it's not real. It's that like passive aggressive, snarky. Like
yes.
it's like
Yeah, exactly.
Like I remember,
Checkmate.
I'm like losing terribly to this dude, and then I make a move, and then he goes,
oh,
"Fuck off!
dude, yeah,
I can tear you apart." Right
Fuck
now.
this, man.
it's like you asshole. Or if I ever decided to play chess and someone did, and they laughed at me, I'd be like, "What are you fucking laughing at?"
Yeah, we laughing
exactly.
at
Like,
cunt. Oh, nothing.
Explain it to me. Why have you laughed?
Yeah.
Oh, I've done
Yeah.
this and done that. Okay.
You
Well, fuck-
actually
well,
seem
fuck
like
you,
you're
bro.
getting
Yeah.
legitimately angry about this.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I got mad. I was like,
Yeah.
"Fucking,
Yeah.
dude, you
What'd
know,
you do then, bro? Did you
I
do
just
something about
lost.
it?
Nah, man. I don't want to be that guy.
You know what? You should have just took all, even if they weren't your pieces, take all these pieces.
Just take this, like a handful of the Zep, put
Just
them in your
start
pocket.
You know what?
Just walk
Hey,
out.
you know what, motherfucker? These are mine now.
Yeah.
These are mine.
What are you gonna do about
What are you
it?
gonna do about it? Go buy another one.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
You got 3 more at home. I don't care.
But to be fair, to be good at chess, you have to be fucking smart.
Be so smart, man.
So
And
that's
I'm
probably
not-
why
I'm
they're
not
arrogant. That's
Yeah.
something that pisses me off is people that have gone to like I'm not going to name a name, but I know a guy that just thinks he is way smarter than everyone. So he just thinks that
I'm trying to. What's that? Not
You know-
hypothetically. I'm trying to telepath. That's
you know exactly who I'm talking
telepathically
about.
get in your brain. I think I know who you're talking
You know exactly who I'm talking
about. I
about.
probably do.
No
No names, but we know.
It's funny because this guy's been to 3 or 4 different. I think it's like he's got 2 degrees or 3 degrees
Oh,
or something.
shit. Wow.
It's like studying something else.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And I'm like, bro, do something with said degree. Stop studying, G. You know what I mean? Like,
You've
and they're
studied-
like
you've
2
studied
different
enough,
things.
Man. Yeah, you've studied
Yeah,
enough.
like,
Right,
and
right.
he would have like a sense of, feeling like he was above certain people. Because obviously the academic is something that you can judge a certain aspect
True.
of how smart you are. But I don't think it represents like who you are as a person. I think that's
is he,
incredibly
like,
insecure.
Does he feel like he has to put that over you? All
Yeah,
the time? Right,
or
okay.
just like when it comes to like women, he'll like think that the women are beneath them, which they are.
Just have a dig right there and
No,
there.
I'm playing.
one of those guys.
Yeah, but that's something that really upsets me. You know what I mean? Like certain people we had
Yeah.
when we would like, dance. guys that had a like a super big ego. You know what I mean? Like you would be in these situations where everyone's on the same level.
Of names that just rolled through my head there.
Yeah,
as well.
People that you go like imagine that, right? You're going on a stage. You're gonna go. I don't know if we could talk about it or not, but you did mention it before, so I was like, screw it.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's right.
So when we were dancing, you'd go on stage and. You'd have all these other, like when Jackson and I met, we were like, I think it took like 2 or 3 days and then we were fine. But when you meet like certain other people, you're all in the same vicinity. You're all doing the same thing. You're on stage. You're about to
team, right? You're like a team.
You're about to express yourself on stage.
It's a very explicit version of the A-Team.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was actually a part of the show.
It was back in the day.
A-Team is a show. Is an actual segment.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you would all be on the same team, but these people, there'd be certain individuals that you would be like, yeah, man, have fun. Good one.
Yeah.
And they'd be like,
I feel
thanks,
left
man.
out. Do it again. Pass it on.
You know what I mean? Like, this is Cade, or this is Jackson. What's up?
Oh, come off it, bro.
Yeah, see, no, but it's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly.
To not be you're just a fuckwit.
You're just that's what I do. Let's get that in comedy.
In comedy, we have it so much. And it's funny because I've been lucky enough.
This is what I was going to even ask you as well, because now you've brought that up, even from the comedy industry, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But is there guys like that
you'll be
in
shocked.
That same way?
I've been lucky to meet really famous comedians. Like, Rove?
Yes.
Yeah.
I met Rove. Rove is the nicest dude you've ever met in your entire life. Like, I'm like the 1000th person in his life, like 10,000th person. But he knows, he'll ask me like, dude, like, how's your missus going? Oh, how's your dad?
It's genuine. It's genuine. It's genuine.
And then you'll meet some dude who like maybe has like 500 followers on Instagram, and they're fucking like big timing you and shit. Man. Like this one dude, he's the worst for this. He'll like you'll be like, hey, what's up, man? And he'll greet you like that.
Oh, yuck. Yuck.
What am I, a groupie, bro? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
I had that the other day. Who was it?
You're not even a name.
No.
You know what I mean? If Dave Chappelle did that to you, you'd be like, all right.
It'd be like, hey, this guy's gonna rip me to shreds if I arc up at him, whatever. So I'm not gonna bother. But Dave Chappelle, he's a beast. So
100%.
like whatever.
Yeah.
But
just some dude.
But if it's just some dude who's on the same level as you, or if not even maybe a bit lower in that sense, it's not about egos either.
It's usually the ones that are shitter than you that do it.
That's
it's just
what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But I hate the whole egotistical
can't stand it, man.
shit. Like, and we experience it, and that spins me out about comedy because everyone's taking the piss.
There's a lot of that in comedy, but it's the same thing where like it's just insecurity. Like some people
I
are
agree.
super insecure.
I agree. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I really, really agree. That's what it is. And you'd get that in boxing as well. But obviously, because of where you are, people are going to show you that spirit regardless because they probably want something from you.
Oh yeah, but the boxing industry is very interesting on how that works. Like obviously from like revenue to platforms, and everything's obviously off followers now. So whoever's got more followers, they're more mainstream. It's just the way the world is. And again, but at the same time, you get a lot of guys. I've met a lot of guys in the boxing world who are absolute fuckwits. Like just terror. Like just have this ego about themselves, and they've done nothing, unfortunately. And it's like they haven't even had a fight yet. There's guys who have walked in the gym who've never even fought before, but they've trained for X amount of years, and they think the shit of themselves. And it's like, okay, if you ask him, it's like, oh, you move pretty well, man, punch on the bag. Everyone looks like a superhero on the bag and on the pads.
Yeah.
But as soon as you jump in the ring, it's a different story.
100%.
That could be sparring or fighting. Everyone's you want to get glory, you can go to your bathroom and get glory. Fuck it, who cares? But it doesn't. You get people in a situation like that, and they usually either steer away from sparring or fighting because they love the backing of like, oh, everyone's saying I look good, or their ego's that big. They're like, all right, well, yeah, we'll jump in, and then make every excuse in the handbook to jump out or to be like halfway through a round and be like, oh, shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, I forgot my mouth guard today. Oh, here's a mouth guard. Oh, I don't have my gloves.
It needs to be fitted to
yeah. Oh, I've got to do this.
They wouldn't be in that situation if they literally just came in and were like, instead of just going in the gym and being like hitting, because I know the people, because you see them in the boxing gym, they'll be hitting the bag and just not going with the class, you know what I mean? Just doing it at their own pace, but like everything's clean as, and they're just kind of looking down, not looking at anyone, but like,
or even worse,
like a photo shoot sort of thing.
I love that.
Or even worse, you get the guys who are at like a Revo Fitness or something like that, and they'll punch a bag, and they'll go, "Oosh."
That's literally me.
Do you ever get? I don't know if you get this in boxing, but when I did jiu-jitsu a lot, the best guy would be the dude you're beating in sparring, and then he'll start teaching you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you get him in a lock.
right.
And then he's like, no, bro, you're supposed to put your arm on. I'm like, bro.
But you're getting on top of him.
I've got you.
Instead.
I'm literally kicking the shit out of you.
There was a guy I met in Sydney once who was like that. He was funny as I was there. I was with my one of my best mates, and I took him to the gym, and he's right into combat sports now. But we were at the gym, moving around. I was punching the bag, doing whatever, and he comes up to me. Weird ass. So he organised 2 random guys that were there with him. He was talking smack with them, and there was a few occasions where even my old man in Sydney, my real dad, was actually come up to me and he goes, "Who fucks this?" And I was like, "I've got no idea." And he's like, "He keeps talking, I'm gonna fucking bash him."
Right.
Because he was just a lingerer. He was one of those guys at the gym who lingers, thinks he's a coach, thinks he knows everything, never fought a day in his life. And he was this random dude sitting there. So I was punching the bag doing stuff. He walks up to me while I'm punching the bag. "Oh, these 2 fellas want to spar." So he was instigating a sparring session with 2 guys who could not fight.
What?
On purpose. So I jumped in. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, no worries." Me just saying, yeah, because I don't care.
Like Goku and shit.
So I jump in and sparred these 2 guys, and they were wearing tiny little bag gloves, no mouth guards. Their shirts are off.
Right.
And I'm in there like, this is random as. So like I'm got my 2 wits about myself. I'm like, okay, I've got to make sure I'm all right here. I've got to make sure I'm safe. Sparred them both. After the sparring, he drills me. He goes, have you ever considered, you got to block with your elbow? I'm like, sorry?
What, like in Wing Chun?
Not even Wing Chun. But he goes, "Do you want to block with your elbow?" I said, "What
Wouldn't
do you mean?
that leave your
mate?"
stomach quite open?
No, but he goes, "Block with your elbow." Almost. So he goes, "Block with your elbow." So when people are punching you in the face, everything else is exposed. Punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Do this.
Wasn't that? What?
So he goes,
so make sure you can't see.
Yeah.
Your jaw exposed.
So I'm listening to this wacko speak to me, right?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, my mates are there, and we're like, "Oh yeah, no worries, yeah, okay, all right." And he goes, "Yeah, back in the day when I was street fighting in the underground parts of Sydney City and everything like that."
My God.
So he was like full elaborate stories, and like a block. I was like, "Oh yeah, no worries, mate, thanks." And coming from Western Sydney myself, proud to be from Western Sydney, but I love Perth, love Western Sydney. Man, there's characters everywhere in the world. This guy was a dead set clown.
Wow.
And he so much believed in his own bullshit, like bullshito, like all that stuff.
Yeah. I love that shit.
He went up to those same guys I moved around with on the bag and was showing them stuff, and the guy looked like he was having a seizure during showing him stuff. And it was like, then the next couple of days later, my old man was there, same thing. Dad goes, "Who the fuck's this idiot?" And I said, "I don't know, he's there watching me spar, doing whatever." He goes, "If he keeps carrying on, I'll punch him in the head." I was like, "I'll just leave him, he's all right, he's harmless." And then he must have said something to my dad about me training and doing stuff. And my dad's just blunt as fuck. He goes, "Fuck off, you fat cunt."
Oh, right.
Yeah. He's like,
you would have been like, "Thanks, Dad."
No, but I was just there. I was just listening. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're all, traveling gypsy family and stuff. That's where all the heritage comes from. So they're just ready to fight.
Wasn't there a boxing block that was actually like this back in the day?
No, so the old foreman guard, and it's a lazy guard, is basically if I can take punches to the body, whatever, I'll block like this. And it's an old sort of style thing where you would block like that and like that. It's an old 1800s, 1900s.
Yeah,
So
Archie Moore.
Archie Moore,
Just a little
foreman.
a little bit after this sort of thing.
Well, anybody who wants to fight like this.
Yeah.
Well, they used to because
Well,
they used to go for each other's cheeks because they would have like endless rounds.
Also, when they would roll their wrists like that, they'd punch over the top.
Yeah. Oh, they wouldn't?
No, I'm not.
No. But that's how they used to box because the main targets were for the cheeks because it was like not good to knock your opponent out.
No, but you got to think about this is where we go on another category to like the old tent days and stuff. So my grandfather fought in the tent boxing. He would have had 200 odd fights. That was a mixture of boxing and bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
That's all where the family were traveling and like the 10 fights here in Australia and everything like that. And they're a different breed again. But those old days from like the UK and like being a gentleman's sport is, they would square off in the middle of an alleyway. And the whole thing about red and blue corners were Democrat and Republicans.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, right,
So Democrats and Republicans use boxing as a sense of who would be political and who would win out of the political debate. They'd get their best to fight the best out of Democrat and Republican.
So Republicans are red?
And they'll put the handkerchief on the floor.
Yeah.
So if you both step on the handkerchief and whoever gets knocked off the handkerchief loses.
It's another one as well, yeah.
Yeah.
True. But see, these are all the things that people don't realize about how much
that's insane.
How historically boxing has made like boxing in a sense nowadays, and even like back in like the 80s and everything like that is like the modern day gladiators. So back then, settling political views, it's pretty methodical in a sense where it's like, hey, we can't finish this debate, so your best guy will fight my best guy.
Yeah.
Very, very gladiator-like. It's like, we're all going to be here. We're going to place bets.
Troy.
That's why there's a giant... Do you know that's why in Parliament House there's a giant mace in the center of it? Because cunts used to have swords. Yep. And then, like, if you can settle the debate and you wanted a better weapon...
Challenge you to a duel.
On guard!
No way.
Yeah, there's a giant mace right there. You just grab it and just bash the other dude.
So if
we should bring that
only
back.
we should bring that back. Yeah. If only we bring that back. There's a lot of angry people out there who don't like getting their way who would happily use that.
Straight up.
So many people that should get maced, bro. I can think of like 5 people.
There's specific people with a face that you want to mace.
Yeah. Mace face.
Mace face.
I want to just before we go on a tangent, because I want to go on about stuff hard out, especially like the one about the penises. So I want, because we've got obviously we are angry Africans and we are very angry about some of these fights that are coming up.
Go.
Which I want to get your opinion on them. Let's all have an opinion. I've got 3 fights here. Okay. So obviously it's fight week. The first one we're going to talk about today: Tyson Fury and Usyk.
Okay.
Now, John Fury's just headbutted Usyk's smallest member of his team and knocked himself out, or like got himself a bloody forehead or something.
Yeah, he cut himself open.
I just headbutted that little boy.
So funny, man.
Bro, what was with that? By the way,
what's so funny about the Tysons is like they talk about fighting in religion only. I was watching a video of Tyson talking about his dad. Like headbutting some dude, and he was talking about the Bible, and I was like, that is the scariest recounting.
Yeah.
Of the Bible.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what's insane? It's like I love these guys that praise Jesus. Like Garcia's going, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you.
Tyson's like, no weapon can be held against me.
And then he just they just go for people. They'll be like, thank you, Jesus. By the way, you can get fucked. Like, it's kind of,
well, that's another that's another tangent when it comes to like religion and stuff
you're
like
right,
that
you're
as well.
You're right.
That's another tangent. But at the same time, people who preach religion and everything like that as well, that's obviously another entity to go towards. But each their own again. But when it comes to the Furies and comes to that,
they're a special breed.
Like it's a special breed. Like there's families that just are out of the box and they are out of the box, but they also know how to sell a fight. They also know how to cause the havoc and the drama. Like you even see Fury when he come out from the meeting room after all that dilemma happened, and he's like, "What'd you do to yourself, you silly cunt?" Like, But like that's the emotion that goes behind it, because obviously Fury, John Fury being the dad, boxing lineage, everything like that, very emotional. Tyson's the fighter, and Tyson also is out of the box. He's whack as 15 wanks a day. Getting ready for fights. It's just talk. It's circus. It's to make things.
Did he say that?
He did.
Yeah. Wow, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he goes.
But it's funny.
But that's what I mean. Like it's ways of being out of the box and ways of selling fights and being a character. And I've had the privilege to meet Fury. He's cool as a cucumber. Yeah, cool as a cucumber. The people were shoving cameras in his face and everything like that. And there was times he was just like awkwardly going like that, and then he'd actually put his hand's like a oven mitt.
Right.
He put it over the camera because it'd be like, hey, get out of my face.
I think I told my cousin's partner is a gypsy, but quite a heavy. But he knows him, and he reckons he's the nicest guy ever.
No,
so he jumped in a limo with him one day, and he reckons that he was just like, yeah, that's cool, just no cameras. But I think they knew each other, family related, so they kind of all knew each other. And then
But see, that's what I mean. Like when behind closed doors and behind everything like that, you get to see people's real colours, like true colours. And from seeing him how I did, it was a pleasure to meet him, and it was great, you know. Like, but the more casual and the more down, like the more you keep it on a normal level, it's not as abrupt. It's not as thin.
He seems like he would still be like, I can see he would still be like that even if it was just one-on-one with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he'd be like, oh, you're a good boxer. How big's your cock?
No, he's 100% a character.
Yeah.
Even in the dressing room when he was there with Parker, myself, and my uncle's other fighter, David Nike, he's fighting on the undercard this Friday, and he's got an awesome fight coming up. But they were just with him. Like, David just finished training, and Fury and that walked in because they're doing some training as well. So, like, and listen to him speak and everything like that. He's just down to earth. But coming to the fight aspect of things, him and Usyk's a different beast himself. Being the undisputed cruiserweight world champion.
Olympic gold medalist.
They're Olympic gold medalist. They're moving up to heavyweight, and he's a small heavyweight. He's considered a small heavyweight regardless. But to accomplish what he did in cruiserweight and then Olympic gold medal and everything like that, this is probably the biggest heavyweight fight to happen since Joshua and Klitschko. And Fury beat Klitschko before Joshua beat Klitschko. So you look at all these different fights and all these things. Fury's a renowned heavyweight name for this era and still arguably one of the best heavyweights of this era. But then you got Joshua, you got Jamel Miller, you got all these other guys.
What about the fact that Usyk went up and didn't lose a lot of it like Roy Jones did? Because obviously like a different style of fighter. That's also something that's pretty interesting.
So the interesting fact of that is that Roy left it too late. So fighters, we don't know to give it up. Fighters will fight till the day they die, you know? But it's also trying to tell the fighter that you need to stop. Enough is enough. So I know my limits. Like, I know that when my time is done, I've got to be the man of myself to be able to say, this is my done. I'm done now. Because brain injuries, health, everything like that. So you got to make your mark where you can. And you got to be able to be man enough to say call it quits, because you either do what Leonard did. Leonard went way too long, had too many retirements, came back, and then got bashed by Hector Camacho in his last fight. And Hector Camacho wasn't even in great shape, and he was moved up in weight as well. But to lose, it was sad to see because you could just see he wasn't there.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, same thing.
Ali, same thing. But like because you're such a renowned thing, and the addiction of having crowd and being used to it is an addiction, because walking out to a crowd, having people call your name, being in the atmosphere and being in the ring, you can't beat that feeling.
I don't know if I hope it's not the same for Tyson.
I hope it's why.
Mike.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just hope it's not the same for Tyson.
But that's what I mean. Like Tyson should be. I think he's got good support behind him to be able to know when to stop. But this is the thing: another make or break fight for either one of them. Because if Usyk loses, then he's lost all the world titles, and then Fury does. But I think Fury wins. I think either from there on he takes one more fight as a retirement one, or he calls it there.
Yeah,
because he'll be undisputed again for the second time round.
It seems like they're really well matched. I mean, Usyk in box is a fucking ass.
Oh yeah, Usyk is, from a boxing point of view, is just like a Lomachenko, special and very, very good at changing the angles, being creative, everything like that. But at the same time, Fury is such an out of the box fighter that he's so awkward and unco. He's like a potato with arms and legs.
Yeah.
He's got such an odd body shape, but he boxes so well.
Yeah,
and he can switch. Yeah. He can move his head. He's so mobile for a guy his size.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. Like heavyweights nowadays are so different to heavyweights back in the day.
Yeah,
that's what I find crazy about him. That he's that much bigger than everyone else, but he's probably one of the best moving heavyweights ever.
Yeah,
he is.
Like, insane.
Yeah,
you know who else did it better? Tyson?
No, but
maybe.
Tyson moving.
Yeah, I'd say so. Mike Tyson.
Ali
was good.
Of a mover.
No, Tyson was a mover. What do you his defense? Yeah, 100%.
Tyson was
not on the defense, but he was a mover on the offense.
Yeah, but see, Tyson was all basically offense where it came to what was to destroy someone and hit someone in a way where, because Tyson was a smaller heavyweight and able to get under the guys, but once people started working Tyson out, they realised that especially because Tyson partying and the jail and everything like that, he started not doing what he should have been. So people started to work Tyson more out. But
do you think that if he had stayed I reckon if he stayed where he was when he was 20, and stayed I think people would have struggled to figure him out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
I reckon he would have beat everyone.
Youngest heavyweight champion of all time to also being given the money he has and come from the upbringing he did. He was programmed by Cuss to be a destroyer, to be like a conqueror. So to him, he was untouchable. And to give someone that much money and that much fame and that much stuff, who knows what to do with it at that age? And who knows what to do with it in that circumstance? Like, man, he was the baddest man on the planet.
At 23.
It's
too much.
Crazy, man, But then even look at Ali's time. Like, Ali's time he's considered the greatest of all time, not just from a boxing ability, but also from the showmanship ability. Nobody was doing what Tyson was doing. I mean, not what Ali was doing. I think
it's also a political thing
as
well.
Political thing
he stood up against the Vietnam War, and then there was the whole thing of the Black Panthers went to converted as well, changed his name, obviously. Yeah. But that was in a time where he had like a lot to fight for. But I wholeheartedly believe, and this is my opinion, I think that Mike Tyson in his prime was probably the greatest, like the most terrifying, and probably, in my opinion, the best boxer ever. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah,
like him in his 20s.
Everyone's got different opinions. Yeah. See, but
okay, sorry. No, I don't mean. Okay, let's just take away, because obviously you got Sugar Ray and you've got the smaller guys, but I think heavyweight wise,
heavyweight wise, that's a good category thing as well.
You know what would have been a good fight?
Hello.
Oh yeah, shit.
Well, it's going to be weird because I'm just going to cut straight to this and be like, well, Jackson, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming for the Angry African show.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the show. One of our cameras died, so we're here now in this angle.
Yeah.
We want to thank Jackson for coming into the show.
Thank you. Thank you for appreciating our professionalism too.
Oh no, I love it. It's the best. This is the most professional thing I've ever done.
I will say there were some questions you dodged. We'll say that.
That's
fine.
That.
Yeah, no, I felt I was a little bit starstruck by the question.
It's going to be one of those things that someone digs up later in their career and they're like, calls me up. He's like, "Can you delete that video, mate?" What's that? Like people keep asking me how many penises I've seen. Nah, man, thanks for coming, bro. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers, brother.
Beautiful.
All right, this was Angry Africans. Yeah. Oh, thanks for watching. This is probably our first podcast. We're going to post the whole thing. It's going to be sick.